Hello, and welcome everybody. If you are watching this video, you missed our week 2, day 1 lecture, or just looking back to remember what we did. We did a quick warm-up, which I'll go over in a second, then followed that up with a reflection and discussion, and then we delved into our first kind of assignment for the year, which is going to be squared, circle, and triangle activity. And the purpose of that is to get a foundational understanding of how number systems operate and how we can wrap around our minds around something that is not the traditional decimal system that we're all used to. We did not get to really the main introduction of this concept, but we will be doing that next time. My main objectives for you guys is to be able to create a communication method for binary information. So we'll take a look at how we address that. And then a larger goal, not just for today, but for the next couple of weeks, is for you to be able to explain the fundamentals of how a number system works, what are the conditions that need to be satisfied in order for your system to be valid, and what kind of number systems are useful and already exist out there. So what we started with is you found an item in your room, anything would do. Could do it with a pen, let's say. And your task was to figure out how you could use that object to communicate the answer to a yes or no question. So possibly I could ask you, did you have a good time in school today? And you could signal yes by holding the pen one way, or maybe no by holding the pen the other way. Very, very elementary, right? But now you have to think about, what if I had a question that was more open-ended? So if I asked you something like, did you have a good day today? You can't answer that just by twisting the pen unless you have some really interesting rules in place that the other person is aware of and that they can use to interpret the way you're twisting the pen into more interesting words than just yes or no. And this is all a precursor to where we're going, which will be binary number systems. So we're going to get there eventually, but for now it's just something to think about. The next thing we talked about is, how can you represent a concept such as 7? Well, we're all very used to using the number 7. We're kind of conditioned to think of that when we think of the concept. But there are many different other ways, right? I could write out the word 7 or say it out loud, or hold up 7 fingers, or use Roman numerals. All of those are completely valid and possibly more useful in some situations, but we don't really consider them. So what we're going to be going into is other methods of representing the same information, but with different properties. Our decimal system, the one we use, is very, very good for certain things, and we're very fortunate to have it because it helps us in a lot of mathematical applications, but it's not particularly useful in certain computer science applications. So we're going to take a look at how the binary system offers us certain unique options that the decimal does not, and we're also going to discuss more broadly what number systems in general allow us to do. So the next thing we did is we took a look at this assignment. The assignment is posted on MyMCPS underneath modules, looking at week 2, and it is titled 010101. So unit 1, week 1, assignment 1, square, circle, triangle. If we open that up, you can see the following file available to you. It is this right here. There are 4 challenges for you to try. Today we got through about 2 of them, but we're not going to have the whole class period next time, so you should plan on having most of this completed. It is going to be due tomorrow, the 10th at midnight. What you got to do is you got to think about 3 shapes: squares, circles, and triangles. And we're going to create a set of these 3 shapes, and the set is going to hold 3 items in it. Now you can repeat a shape, so for instance you could do square, square, square. That would be a valid combination. You could also do circle, 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 triangle, 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 circle, triangle, triangle. Any kind of 3 shapes together counts. And at first, we just want to list as many as we can. Now, the trick here is you want to think of an ordering that makes sense when you list them. So you don't want to just list them haphazardly because you're going to have a tough time making sure you got all of them. So you should try to think of a system where the next shape kind of comes naturally to you because it follows a pattern. That's really what we're looking to develop here, is a pattern of shapes that you can follow. Challenge 2 is using your words to describe how your pattern works. So what did we start with? What's the next shape? What's the next shape? Don't write out every shape. That's not really a rule set. What you should write out is the meat of how I should be able to get from one shape to the next. So start with all squares, then change the last shape to what and how. Ideally, your rule set shouldn't be, an essay. Ideally, you want to keep it as concise as possible. We didn't get to these last two questions today in class, but they are going to be something we're going to be thinking about, so they're worth checking out. Altogether, this assignment is 15 points, and we wrapped it up there for today. If you guys have any questions or if this is confusing to you, please send me an email. I'd be happy to help you out, but I don't know what you don't know, so you gotta inform me. That's all I have. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you all next